Here with us. Bless you for being here with us. Now I'm going to share this program. You can share it. I think we send the link, so you can share the link to whoever you want to share it with. Uh,
Okay.
we're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on everywhere. So you are connected. We are live. God bless you for being here. We appreciate you being here. Now, today's program is going to be amazing, beautiful. Join us, connect with us, and let us get on board. So, wherever you are welcome being here with us, connecting with us. We appreciate you being here. Um, this is a podcast show. This is Aryee podcast show. So 360 podcast show 360. And so wherever you are joining in this discussion and let us get involved and be a blessing to many. So you can share this program. I'll give you a few minutes to share this program, connect with us, share this program, invite someone, come on it, and let us start this program. We are about to start this program. We are almost here. We've already started. So join us, connect with us, and we have some wonderful people here with us. So join us, connect with us. Let us come on it and be a blessing today. Be a blessing today. We have Sister Mary here with us. We have Brother Frimpong here with us, Nana here with us. God bless you. Both of you are welcome. I'll give you the few minute to introduce yourself. Mary, can you introduce yourself, and then we'll come to Frimpong to introduce himself too.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary Mabel Duncan. I live in Florida with my husband and my three kids.
Wonderful. That was quick and short and beautiful. Nana, what about you?
Hi, lovely people. So my name is Edward Nchi AJ Brimpong, or short Brimpong. I reside in Ghana. I'm a Ghanaian, and thank you for joining us.
Wonderful. Nana, can you tell us a little bit what you do?
Okay. So I'm a workforce analyst, working for an American company that's Buelo in Ghana, and I'm a praise and worship leader too.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mary, can you tell us a little bit about you?
I'm also a praise and worship leader, and I've been
Wow.
in singing ministry since I was a child.
Wow, that's beautiful. It look like we have musicians here today. Uh,
Yeah.
that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I love that. We have beautiful musicians here with us. And my name is Reverend Isaac Aryee. I'm the host of this program, Aryee Podcast and 360. We talk about everything. We talk about everything. We talk about marriage. We talk about sex. We talk about life. We talk about business. We talk about everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Why do we talk about everything? Because it's important to talk about everything so that people will be informed about life. People will be informed about what is going on so that we'll be able to make right decision, good decision, to be a blessing to people, and also develop some skills to build our life. I will invite you to join us today and also share this program, and let us begin this subject and this discussion and be a blessing to many. Let me make sure we are being heard. And also share this program. Yeah, I think we are being heard on social media. So wherever you are, God bless you for connecting, being with us. God bless you for being here. Now, I want to explain a little bit about this subject before the our guests come in, and then they will bring their opinions, and we'll discuss on everything that we're here to discuss. actually, when we talk about sex, it's one of the things that people don't want to talk about, and also the church don't want to talk about it. And it's like a taboo in our community, where we came from as Africans. It's like a taboo. When you talk about sex, it's like you step on certain toes and you step on certain places that, is uncomfortable to talk about. As a matter of fact, when I sent this flyer, I saw a lot of people crouching like, ooh, I'm going to talk about sex. but that shouldn't be the problem, because I believe because of our culture and where we came from, that is why we experience such kind of what do you call it, backlash. But if we will understand that it's part of life and God made it for a reason, and it's beautiful, we will come to a place of agreeing with it and also talk about it. Because here in the Western world, they talk to their children about sex. They teach it in school, they teach it everywhere, so that the children will be aware what they're growing into. And I know there is a age that you have to start discussing sex with your children, and also how to present it to them, how to discuss it with them, because a lot of people get married and they don't know what to do. It's one thing that a lot of people are not taught, and they get into relationship. All they know is, I'm going to get married, but the parent didn't talk to them about sex. The church didn't talk to them about sex. The only time we mention a little bit is when they went to maybe marriage council, and then they talk a little bit about it. That's it. They left it there. The pastor didn't even discuss about sex. And so at the end of the day, the problem here is, if you don't talk to me about sex, what am I going to do in marriage? Because sex is part of marriage. And so we leave that place blank for you to figure it out. When you get married, go and figure it out. But at the end of the day, figuring out sometimes lead to confusion in marriage, sometimes leads to so many things in marriage. And at the end of the day, we get into a lot of confusion. Now, I want to explain some few things, then I will let Nana and Mary give their opinions, and also ask whatever question they have. And also, if you're out there and you have any question, you can bring it up. If you have opinion, you can bring it up. Now, few things I want to say before we start this program is, actually, when it comes to sex between a husband and a wife is not a sin. Sex between a husband and a wife is not a sin. Rather, it is a beautiful expression of love and trust and sharing and unity. Sex is God's gift to a married couple for a pleasure and procreation. And so sex is not just procreation, but it's also a pleasure that God created for a man and a woman to have pleasure and also to procreate. Sex in God's idea in the book of Matthew chapter 19 verse number 4 and 6. I want to just quote this scripture quick so that we can base our teachings or discussion on that. Now, in the book of let me bring it quick here. In the book of I believe Matthew 19 verse 4, it says, and he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? He made them male and female. It didn't stop there. Verse number 5. It said, and said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twin shall be one flesh, and they twin shall be one. Some translation, and they shall become one flesh, and they shall become one flesh. And so, when it come to marriage, when it come to you know, being with a man and a woman, the Bible says both of them will leave their family and they will cling to each other and they will become one flesh. And they'll become one flesh, and become one flesh. So one flesh means in mind, one flesh means in body, one flesh means in everything. But today's society, we don't see one flesh. We see you come here, I come here. You know, you came from this place, I came from this place. We came and live in the same house. I have my own bank account. You have your own bank account. I have my own thinking. You have your own thinking. I'm doing my own thing. We live together in the house, but we're having children. But you see that the mind is not one, and we are together all right. The mind is not one. Most of the time, even when they come to, have sex, they only do it in the night and they turn the light off, and they don't want to look at each other. They just do it in the morning. They get up, they go their, different places. And so you see that to some people sex is not, it's not that, all that for them, because of how it's being presented to them. Most of them are not taught, and most of us, because of our Christian background, we are scared even to talk about it. We are scared to even live it in our marriage and enjoy our sexual life in our marriages, because of how we grew up and how we're told, what we're told about sex. Now, the very fact that God created humanity as male and female reveals that we are created as sexual beings. We are created as sexual beings, and God's command to be fruitful and multiply cannot be fulfilled without sex. See, be fruitful and be multiply cannot be fulfilled without sex. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 talks about, God telling man to be fruitful. Now, sex is a God-given mandate. Sex is God-given mandate. It's not something that somebody went somewhere and plan about it and then only the unbelievers do it. All of us, Christians, everyone, we have sex, and sex is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Now, sex is God's mandate. So there is no way that sex is a sin if it is done with one's long life marriage partner of the opposite sex. And so I want to pause here, and I'll come back again and conclude it and break it down a little bit, and every question you have will be answered. Now, Mary, I want to start with you. When it comes to sex, you're a Christian, you're also a mother, you're also a wife. Before, you were not married, you married, and then you start enjoying all the benefit that comes with it. Now, when it comes to the church, how does the church and the youth see sex as far as being a Christian is concerned? I know we talk about it, sometimes we see our pastors, we hide and we do all those things, but how does the youth sees it? And how does the church sees it as far as sex is concerned? Talk to me about it.
Thank you very much, Reverend. The word sex has become like an elephant in a room since we were kids. Because nobody, as you rightly said, nobody speaks about it. I remember when we were kids, when you say the word sex, you'll be punished severely, and even at in extreme cases, they will grind ginger and put it behind at your behind. So it became something like the word a no-go area to talk about sex. So I think that has been our fear through our infant stages, our childhood stages. So it has become like a generational discomfort. We cannot talk about sex. So this has also seeped through to the church. because we are the same people. Our mindset about sex is still the same. So I believe that if it starts with our parents, how they know, they understand that it's part of us, it's God's own design, and it's there for us to enjoy and also procreate with it. I believe we'll be able to enjoy it and enjoy it at the right way.
That's wonderful. So it begins with the church.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So why do you think the church is not talking about it? Why do you think the church is not talking about it?
I think it's the stigmatization that comes with sex, because they think that when you talk about it, it means that you are struggling with sins, with a sexual sin. But
Okay.
if we should make it in such a way that if I can tell you that I have a headache, I should be able to talk to you about sex, because it's part of us. God created it, and we have questions. So the church should also provide a haven whereby we can talk about sex, because it's very important. If we don't teach the youth about sex, the street will teach them, and the consequences will come to us, and pregnancy. And because I believe that sex has spiritual, physical, and emotional effects. I believe that the church should provide a haven whereby I can go to an elder, a deacon, or a pastor to talk about it, and I would not be judged.
I like that. I like what you said. I like what you said. And so, uh, it shouldn't be something that they have to judge us when we talk about it, or they have to judge you when the
No,
church. So you think that the church has put fear uh, in Christians, or so that they won't talk about sex, or the pastors see them as when you talk about it, it means it is bad, it's evil. So because of that, you think that the church. What do you think the church have to do, or the pastors have to do to solve this problem, or to help people to be open and talk about it?
I believe there should be sex education being part of the preaching in the church, because it's
Okay,
very, very important, so that people will be able to feel free to answer questions and also be able to express themselves if they have questions. So
okay,
it's very important. Yeah,
very
it
very
shouldn't
important.
be just the salvation messages and the prosperity message. Sex should be part of the teachings that pastors have to do.
That's good. That's good. You are right. You are right. Uh, Edward, God bless you for being here. It looked like you were okay, but can you position your phone a little bit so that we can see you clear? It looked like uh,
If you get a little bit,
it's
okay.
a little bit dark. Now you are good. You are good now. You are good now. Now, talk to me in your own way. You've been in the church for some time, and you've been around, doing ministry, singing, and leading choir, and all the wonderful things you've been doing. Most of the time, people complain that musicians and singers is always caught in adultery, caught in sexual scandal, caught in struggle with sex, and all of that. And most of the time, a lot of people get pregnant, and they go and do abortion because they don't want the church to. They don't want the church to know about it. They don't want the church to see it. And so they, most of the time, people go out there and cause abortion because they are afraid that the church will kick them out and all of that. Why do you think this is the problem as far as the church is concerned. Why do you think so?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. So, I think, as our sister said, sex has been treated as an elephant in the room, and we've made it sacred. We've made a little something that is little spoken about. A lot of people don't talk about sex in the church because it's secret. We don't want to be seen as a bad person. Now, when it comes to musicians, we are leading like the men of God. We also take people into the presence of God. Mostly people say that Satan was a musician and all that. So we are like we do things like, should I say, we are also prone to sin.
How would
But
they know
for me,
they understand?
it's something that we need to be careful about. It's something that we need to pay attention to as Christians
Okay.
and as musicians. We mostly fall into those temptations because we don't get, should I say, the mentoring. If I
Okay.
say the mentoring, it means we don't get some leaders who have been there before to actually talk to us about the truth. The truth is, you will get attracted to the opposite sex if you are a good musician, even just a musician, because you stand on stage. If you're a gentleman, they say ladies want to relate with people who are on stage or something like that. So when they see you there, they come to you. If you're a lady, because you're singing, the glory on you will attract some men, and it's something I need to pay attention to and know how to keep yourself, because it will attract people. So if we're being mentored well, then every individual in that level or on that stage will know that, okay, this is how I need to act when it comes to the issue of sex. Because you can't have it to a certain point. Like you said, a man will leave his family, his family, and clinch to the woman, meaning that it is not from the beginning of his life, it's at a particular time of his life. And before he gets to that level, they can do that. However, we need to be taught how to preserve ourselves till we get to that level. The desires will come. If we know that there's a python on the road, preparation will help us, I mean, sway or dodge or even have our way. But if we are not prompted, if we are not taught, if we are not trained on that, then means that we are going to mess around. We are going to be caught by surprise. And I think that is happening to a lot of Christian brothers and sisters. They'll be doing well from the start of the ministry, and they don't, the pastors even don't know the trials and temptations these people go through. They are being called by strange men, they are being called by strange women, and by the time we realize, the man who was so anointed, the lady who was so anointed has fallen. So I think
So,
that we
so,
need to
so, so, hold on 1 minute. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. So, what you're saying is people are struggling with these things, and they don't know how to, discuss it with their pastors, even with their colleagues in the church or with people in the church, because they are afraid of judgment and all of that. That's what you're trying to say. Is that right?
yes, actually, they're afraid of
Wonderful.
judgment.
Wonderful. Go
People
ahead.
go like,
Go ahead.
oh, such an anointed brother, why are you talking like this? Why are you talking about sex? Why are you talking about this? But if they don't have prior knowledge, if they are not trained on it, that means that they don't have um the foreknowledge to overcome. And I think most people fall prey to these things when they are not taught, because mostly in the home they don't talk about it. So another place that we can hear of these things is the church. What school does is will tell you about your sexuality. It will tell you about this is your part of your body. This is how do we call it? The six killer disease and all that. Those things that they will train you on is just something around medicine, or should I say, even health. But what about morals? What about emotional effect? What about spiritual effect, which is the most important? Because we need to tell the world some of the things that people can get into after having sex spiritually. Nowadays, young guys like me are going to places. taking stuffs on them just to sleep with women, pick something on them, water, whatever thing they'll get, and make money out of it. Because these musicians are not being trained, they are not being taught. They are lured by money. And by the time we say Jack, they are somewhere that we can't find them again. So it is an important thing that I think we need to pay attention to and stop judging people, draw them closer rather to, help them come out of these things. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Is there where you can go back a little bit so that the closer you are, I think, yeah, now you are good. You are good. Yeah. Make sure you position it a little bit. Now I can see you clear. Now I can see you clear. Now, Mary, you want to say something? Continue, say it.
Yes. To add to what Edward said, being a praise and worship leader does not mean you don't have sexual hormones.
Okay.
So it's very important that we have to be educated about these things so that we'll, as Edward said, we'll be able to know the right way and the right time that we have to engage in sex, because a lot of praise and worship leaders have problems with sex. We are all human beings. We have our spiritual aspect and we have our physical aspect. So if the church just concentrates on the spiritual aspect and neglects the physical aspect, it will catch up some along the way. And the pastors would, if the person fall into fornication, the same pastors will suspend the person, come and disgrace the person, the stigmatization that will follow the person for the rest of his or her life. And some people cannot stand it, they leave the church. So are we helping the body of Christ, or we are rather dimming the light of Christ? So it's very, very important that sex education should be part of the teachings that pastors teach.
You are right. You are right. Because most of the time, especially nowadays, everybody go to church for prophecy, and everybody go to church, and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. That's all what we do. There is nothing wrong with praying. There is nothing wrong with praying. But at the end of the day, you have to balance everything. You have to, because people are coming to church and people are coming to your worship place. So if you don't know how to, the human problems, if you don't know little things about human problems, you are going to raise church members that are not, fed right. We are not fed right. You feed a person with spirituality alone, but you don't think about his sexual life. You don't think about his, and then these are people that we bless their marriages and we send them to go and marry and expect them to have a successful marriage. Just imagine if the woman go to her husband's home, and let's say that woman have not had sex with nobody before, she's a virgin and everything. There is nothing wrong with virgin is good. You have to be virgin, it's good. I love that. But at the end of the day, if that virgin woman have not heard anything about sexual positions, doesn't know anything about sexual positions, and maybe the pastor has been preaching that if you sleep with your husband in a doggy style, you are going to hell. If you sleep with your wife, in a what are some of the style? Can you tell me some of it? In a navy style, in a jumping style, in a whatever style. Now they are talking about your bedroom issues without teaching you anything. But all they are saying is, if you do, you go to hell. You do it. So this is the problem of the church, and this is the problem with a lot of men of God that are not educated when it comes to theology or when it comes to the things of God. And so they just say it because they think they got a revelation. They just say it because they think that God is telling them something. Sometimes it's not God is telling you, it's you saying to yourself. And so at the end of the day, sexual education is very, very important when it comes to the church. And a lot of people come to counseling, and the reason why they divorce is because of sex. A lot of people divorce because of sex. finances, but sex is number one, and finances, because let's say the reason why this woman on social media, what's their name, this woman that slay queens, slay queens, your husband want a slay queen because of the way they dress. So they look at you in the church and you put on all those clothes on you and you cover all the things. When you come home, you want to cover everything and you cover everything. Men always see to and they attract, they have to see things to attract them. So if you're a wife and you are not dressing in a way that will attract your husband at home, then you are going to have problems in your marriages. Now I want to come back to I want us to move a little bit from the church and talk in general, as far as we are concerned as people. Now, unbelievers, most of them are successful in their sexual life when it comes to marriage. Most of them don't have problem with it because there is nobody there to judge them, condemn them, give them messages about going to hell because you did this style, you did that style, and your husband sleep with you this way, so you are going to hell. But when it comes to Christianity, they put fear in people in a way that people are not even free to marry and be happy and pleasure themselves with what God has created, so that they will have a beautiful and successful marriages. Now, let me ask you, Nana, I want to ask you this. Why do you think that most Christians are married, but when it comes to sex, it looks like they are not living their full potential, and also they are not pleasuring each other? Trust me, most Christians, married couples, they don't even hold their hands when they are walking publicly. But they don't know much about romance. They don't know much about kissing. They don't know much about all those things because they haven't been taught about it. Why do you think that is the problem? Talk to me about it.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think this question was supposed to go to Sam Mary, but let me share
I
because
think she too will come in
married.
on that.
Okay, so for me, I think I've not been there before. I've not been married before, but this is what I
Okay.
can say. Um, Marriage starts from somewhere. I think it's a journey, and mostly people will say that love doesn't play a part of that journey. For me, I just describe the love rather being like that you like someone to the extent that when they do the most silliest thing, you still can accommodate them.
Okay.
So that's where the journey needs to start from. Because if that is not there, it means that somebody will be pretending at that point. Now, you mentioned something in particular when you were talking about this topic that we don't learn it. So I think even from the start of the marriage, now that ICGC counseling, Baptist counseling, or all the counseling sections that I've seen, even Pentecost, they have in their curriculum sex. So that means it's even taught at these counseling sessions. Now, when it comes to the marriage itself, it means that the two of both of the couple should learn together when it comes to the issue of sex. They need to, I mean, agree. Like you see, when you people don't try and put your finances together and plan together and be truthful and honest on that level, you have issues. The
That's true.
same way, if both of them are not honest in their sexual life, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. However, we come together and bridge the gap. It might be difficult sometimes because I mean you can't pick Usain Bolt and compare him to myself because Usain Bolt has been training for years to run. However, if I start running, I can't even get I don't think I can get to 50 meters before he finishes. The same way that some people have, I mean, they have different body types, they have different should I say makeups, and even their journey in life, they've gone through a lot. Some people have been raped, some people have gone through certain relationship before even getting to the marriage. It means
that before they came to the marriage, they have a threshold. And if you're new to it, you can't meet it. So how do you bring it up? It means that there should be sincerity, there should be honesty. Both of them must talk about it. They must, even if they have to bring someone in to teach them, if they have to watch videos and learn, both of them must come together and learn so that they can solve that issue. Because if you know your wife is not educated and you think you can take your wife to school so that they can be educated, then that too can be done. So for me, that is my point. I think I'm not married, so I'm just sharing it.
I like that. I like that because I like the way you put it. I like the point, the way you put it. Both of you have to grow together in sex, grow together in everything, and you have to come together and work things out, and also learn together. Because one person might be more matured in it than the other, and so
Yes.
you can help each other to build your sexual, but there are a lot of people that don't want to even talk about it. They don't want to talk about their past,
That's the fact.
especially if they are raped before, or if especially they've gone through some
Abuse.
experiences, and they've gone through some struggle. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to do nothing. So at the end of the day, it also affect the communication, and it affect the way you build it and everything. Mary, let me come on you for a minute. As far as the word sex is not really in the Bible. It's not found in the Bible. But we talk about intimate. It talk about intimate. It talk about you use different words to explain the word sex, but actually the word sex is seen as a dirty word. It's seen as a dirty word, but actually, when you read the book of Song of Solomon, chapter number 4, I want to read it for you to see what Song of Solomon is talking about. Chapter number 4. Let's go there for a minute. Because society have changed so many things, and the church too has got involved in it. Even though we have, Nana, as you said, even though we have those things in some churches talk about sex, they don't really, they just mention some part of it, because they don't want to.
They can have 5 sections for the other ones, but when it gets to sex, maybe one day or one and a
Very
half.
good. Very good. Very good. In my ministry, we talk more about it. And we also teach people how to, have a successful sexual life. And I believe in that. I believe in that because if we don't teach people about their sexual life, they're going to find themselves in a big, big, big problem. They're going to find themselves in a big, big, big problem. Now, in the book of Song of Songs, I want to read it quick. Do you want me to bring it on the screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
that'll be fine.
Okay, okay. Let me bring it quick on the screen. Okay, okay. It reads, "Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eye behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goat going down from Mount Gilead." Let's go down a little bit. Verse number 2. "Your teeth are like a flock of shorn sheep, which have come up from the washing, every one of which bears twins, and none is barren among them." Verse number 3. Now I'm coming to the point now. "Your lips are like a strand of scarlet, and your mouth is lovely. Your temples behind your veil are like a piece of pomegranate." Verse number 4. "Your neck is like the Tower of David, built for..." I don't know how Solomon is saying these things and mentioning this loving thing and comparing it and describing it, just making things look romantic. Look at verse number 5. "Your two breasts are like two founds twins of a gazelle which feed among the lilies. The reason why I'm quoting this scripture is because I want you to understand how Solomon is describing his lover or his wife, how he's romantically, mentioning her body pattern, comparing it to different things, and you know, we don't normally talk about these things in our relationship. We don't, because hey, Mary, how you doing? Is everything okay? Give me my food, let me eat. You go to work, you come back home, how you doing? Give me my food, let me eat. We are not romantic in our relationship. Mary, I want to come to you in a minute, because sex begins with romance. It begins with talk. It begins with touching. It begins with feelings. It begins with a lot of things. And most of our marriages, we don't do these things. When we are Christians, all we do is we pray, and then in the night we turn the light off, we do one or two things. In the morning we get up, we go to work. So in Christian marriages, a lot of people tell me it's boring. It's boring because most Christian men are into prayers, but they are not romantic and all of that. Do you agree with that, Mary? Do you think? I know you are married. You know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
do you think Christian marriage is boring?
Yes, I agree with you. Christian marriage is very boring because Christian women have placed a lot of embargoes in their marriages, but unbelievers don't do that. So unbelievers have very successful and beautiful marriages. Christian marriages in the bedroom, we've put a lot of embargoes because I am. They will say because I'm a daughter of Zion. A daughter of Zion, we should know when to be a daughter of Zion. And also, when we get to the bedroom, we should know when we have to go haywire because we are dealing with
Amen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
we are dealing with the flesh,
Okay.
and if we don't do that, the side chicks will be attracted to our husbands because, as you rightly said, men are attracted by what they see, the clothes we wear, how we smell. So we should be very careful about how we look, how we smell, and all that. A Christian sister will go there the whole day, will not even testing the husband. Oh, how are you? How is your day? Because sex starts in the morning
Okay.
and come, and it's like the final conclusion is when your husband comes home. So our Christian marriages are so dry, and as you said, sex positions. A lot of Christian women don't do sex position because they are Christians. But I don't know where in the Bible God says we should not do any sex position
Oh,
because
most of them,
I
they
don't
said
believe
they
God
had
even interferes in our sexual
sexual life.
interaction.
Now, a lot of
Yeah.
people say that. A lot of people say that God told them. They said they got the revelation and all of that. Continue.
Yeah, because our mindset about sex is very poor. And I believe that sex is one of God's greatest ideas. Because if something, an act that we can, it's procreate human beings, and also if you do your research, the benefits that comes from sex. What some is longevity, but it's like we've made it like as if sex is an oracle that you can only go there when it's needed. It should be fun. It should be exciting. I was invited to speak on marriage, and one of the topics I treated was how to seduce your husband. A lot of us, if somebody wants to seduce your husband, it's not always that he has to take you to voodoo. he would he would study what's the needs of your husband, and we just accomplish it. That's it.
So what you're saying is, if you're a wife, you can seduce your husband.
Of course.
Okay, okay, wonderful. I like that
Of
one.
course.
I like that.
That
I
was
think I think it makes it. Talk to
But
me,
when we
Nana.
marry, we leave everything right now. May I worry for? May I worry for? What's changed? The man's emotions is still the same. The way he looks at things is still the same. We stopped working on ourselves, everything. So it's like we are just there. We are just there. And if the woman sleeps, we say it's the devil. What have we done that if you've done everything and still the man is chasing after some girls, you know that it might be spiritual or addiction. But are we doing our part as Christians? Are we doing our part? How, when your husband sees you, is he excited to come home, or it's like, oh, I'm going home? So he'll just branch and go for a drink. So we have to also do our homework, which is very important. Very important.
That's wonderful. That's what. Okay, now if you're out there and you two, you want to, add your opinion to it or ask a question, you know, you can type it on the screen and ask questions, and whatever suggestion you have, you can also add it to it. Nana, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was saying that what she mentioned is powerful. Seducing your husband. So seduction is one essential part of should I say sex when it comes to the issue of sex, because um, it's not just an activity or an act. It's an emotional thing. It's a psychological thing. So if the mind of the individual is not prepared, it's difficult for the person to be involved or even enjoy it. In our circumstance or in the world that we are now, I think it's not just most of the burden lies on the woman, but the men should also contribute, because let's take it for instance, the man will go to work, the woman will go to work, and mostly the women will complain that they are tired, they have to sleep and all that. I mean, this man who knows what he saw in the office, that he's burning and he wants to, I mean, have a time. So if, as our sister said, if psychologically you don't prepare the mind of your wife, you don't prepare the mind of your husband within the day, I mean, to have that opportunity, and also the opposite side should be willing to get along, because um, it's a demand, and nobody else should meet it for your husband or your wife. It's your responsibility as a wife or husband to fulfill that duty. So if the wife, I mean, can be creative with seduction, then it's important. The same as the husband, they need to know what the wife likes and dislikes, so that when they want to create that atmosphere, they can use those seductive acts or even symbols to get into the act later in the day, so that it doesn't become, you hear some husband, some wives saying that my husband raped me, especially in the developed countries. And I think it's because of all these things.
That's true.
She wasn't in a mood and it happened. So yeah, seduction is very important.
That's very true. That's very true, because I've heard this a lot. People complain on that, and people come to me and say that, Pastor, my husband raped me, and all of that. And before, I didn't understand it that much, but as time goes on, and I was having a lot of complaint on that, I understood where they are coming from as far as asking those questions or saying those things are concerned. And a lot of people are in prison because of that. Their own wife, accuse them on that, because most of, and especially if the wife, is not God fearing, and not only that, has some type of vindictive against the husband, they can use that, to manipulate and also to control their relationships. Now, Mary, I want to ask you this. I want to talk to now. I want us to change the topic a little bit and talk about the struggle in sex. Struggle in sex. We have a few minutes, but I want us to talk about struggle in sex. A lot of people are not married. They are not getting married, but they are in the church because they don't have money. Because everybody is having wedding. The church is forcing people to have wedding before they get married. But I don't believe that wedding is our culture as far as Africans are concerned. Wedding is not our culture. You don't have to have a wedding. All you need is the pastor blessing. The marriage actually begin with the parent, the family coming together and giving the wife to the husband and blessing the marriage for them. That is the marriage. But we bring it to God, for the pastor to bless it. But actually the marriage, giving of the marriage is the parent responsibility, not even the church, not even the pastor. It is the parent responsibility. So if the parent agree to give you their daughter, that is where the marriage, and then you do the requirement that they ask you to do, that is the actual marriage. But the pastor come in and bless the marriage. Now the Western world people now want to have a wedding and all of that and spend thousands of dollars. I remember a pastor got married to his wife in Florida, and they spent thousands of dollars. Everything was gold. I mean, beautiful white gold, everything. After some few years, the pastor shot the wife. Everything was beautiful from the beginning. And then the pastor shot the wife. Now, if you think that reason why you say because somebody prophesied the wife is a witch. And also, I believe there was some cheating going on and some things going on. So it took a gun. How do you kill somebody you love? Somebody that you love. How do you kill that person? Now, I want us to shift the conversation a little bit and talk about struggle in sex and struggle in marriage. Mary, you are married. And Nana, you are getting into it now. I want us to talk a little bit about it when it comes to church, because a lot of people are not talking about this. The pastors are not talking about it because we pray, we fast, we receive all the prophecy, and we think everything is all right. People come to church and then they go home and cry. People come to church and they go home and their husband beat them. People come to church and they go home and they are threatened with divorce. People come to church and all kinds of things goes on. And so in the area of being a Christian and we struggling with all of these, I want to ask this question, and I want you to tell me your opinion on that, Mary. Do you think Christians, in all our prayers and in all our fasting and in all our serving, we still have struggles in our sexual life? And if so, why? Tell me that.
Thank you, Reverend. I think one of what contributes mostly to our struggles in marriage is that one, we are too high. It's like spiritual, that we are coming down to know that sex and the other things like sex, we have to work on it. It's like it's difficult for us. And also communication.
Okay.
We don't communicate in our marriages. A husband and wife will go throughout the day without even saying hi to each other. Hugging, kissing, and laughter jokes contribute to make the marriage so beautiful. But Christian marriages, it's like let's go and pray. That's it. My food is ready. Nothing. There's no playful moment. Nothing. So it becomes so dry. And one of the thing is in sex you have to communicate to your husband or wife what you want, so that you know that this is how I want to be satisfied. But when with regards to us women, because of our upbringing, we are not able to tell our husbands that I want this, I want to be satisfied this way. I want to be satisfied that way. And we don't like how things are going, but we are not able to also say it. So we say that I'm not happy sexually. Are we communicating? So there should be this open communication, and I believe that it will help minimize the struggles in marriage.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, what do you think about the struggle in marriage? You getting into relationship. What do you think you've seen? Because you've seen a lot of married couples around you, and you've gone to some counseling. What do you think is the struggle in marriage?
Thank you very much. So, Mary mentioned one important point, that's communication. We are coming from different backgrounds, and if you remember the Tower of Babel, the Bible said they were building to God and they were together in one mind. Remember that what God feared was these people were so much together that they could do everything that they wanted to do. If there's something the enemy will try and disrupt, and that is why we have different reasons. We are fighting all over. The fight in Gaza, Israel against Hamas, Ukraine against Russia. Now we have India against as in Pakistan. We have so many, I mean, war going on all around because different languages, different understanding. If it comes to the marriage setting, we also have the communication gap. The person is maybe coming from a place that they talk all about sex. Somebody's coming from somewhere that is secret, so they don't even talk about it. So, I mean, it's like let's off the light and do it and go. They don't think about satisfaction or anything like that. At the end of the day, somebody's in pain. Somebody doesn't even see the pain the person is in because to him or to her, he is done. But to the other person, no. So communication is, should I say, the bedrock of every relationship. Anytime there's silence or there's silence, it means there's something going on. There's contention. And that's what God has said. That even when there's contention, don't pray, settle the issue before. And I think women like to do that. They know there's an issue they need to talk about. They will never talk about it. They want to bring another issue. Then they continue like that. Men who don't like that, they will want to settle the issue before they continue. So now let's be quiet. Let's go away and just go through the day just as it is. If you want something, I'll do it for you. If you also need something, do it for me. But hey, the issue is still pending. And you see, when they move over it, it's like a growing, how do we call it, a sickness. When you leave it and it grows to a point, it now becomes something that is very difficult to treat. So communication must be treated, and if there's silence, it must be treated as soon as possible. Whoever needs to accept his or her wrong needs to accept it so that they move. This also goes to the bedroom and disrupt everything that they want to do. And as I said, it's like, let's do and go because, I mean, we are not cool.
That's nice.
So,
Now, I want, okay, are you done or you are not done? Continue, finish it.
so just get this person who's having a very good communication with someone in the office. Then there's something coming up. Then the enemy is shifting this same happiness sample, which was short, but it brings some other carcasses too. So I think we need to take away the pride as Christians, talk about issues concerning the family, especially sex, so that if there is anything we are harboring in our heart, we can take it off and enjoy our marriages. Yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful. Now, I want to go back to the screen. Mary, before you come, I want to go back to the screen because there is some few things going on here. I think we have Michael. I call him Abeko from South Africa. Michael, I think Michael is asking some questions here, but before that, I want to read some few things. He said, "Is this scripture Song of Solomon?" Yes, that's the scripture Song of Solomon, chapter number 4, verse 1. And also, he's saying that is this okay? It says, okay. Nice topic. And then we have Nana saying overflow blessings. Okay, we have Abeku again. Not all glitter is gold. Okay, and then he says we have entangled our necks and life with that Christianity. That is the problem, especially Africans have. Okay. Yeah, it's understandable. I have a question to the panel, not me. He said he's asking the panel. I think I'm not part of it. I'm just asking questions. So he's asking you people. Now, this is his question. What happened to a woman who has a huge appetite for sex and does not get tired? Ooh, this is a wild one. Okay, I'll come back to some of his questions, but I want us to treat his question here. Then we'll go back to some of the questions that some people are asking here. Now, Mary, I want to come to you on this question. It's what happened to a woman who has a huge appetite for sex and does not get tired?
Thank you for the question. If a woman has huge appetite for sex, you should you should know where the appetite is coming from. Some people are gang raped,
Okay.
and so they have that trauma of their first sexual encounter was gang rape, and it was with multiple men.
Okay.
So their exposure for sex is like she needs it a lot. So we should know where, if it's trauma, she has to seek help. So if the woman has to tell you that this is it, they should trust you to tell you because it's a very sensitive issue. Other than that, all that he can do is demand, you are not satisfying me, you are not satisfying me. And you have to also, it also boils down to communication. If it's not rape, but she has appetite for her appetite for sex is high, you should ask her, how can I satisfy you?
Okay.
How? So it boils down to communication. You don't just brush her off that you like sex, you like sex. Everybody likes sex.
Okay.
If you don't do what you think about it, your hormones, it's in our hormones. So the way we approach it, what I believe will solve that problem. It's communication.
Communication. Okay. But in your own opinion, if a woman have, high, sex appetite, in your own opinion, what are some of the things that, must be done to handle that situation? Because if that woman might think that if I tell my husband whatever it is, my husband is going to judge me, and especially if they're Christians, my husband is going to look at me in a different way. And sometimes those women suppress their sexual appetite so that they will not be judged, they will not be condemned, instead of communicating with the husband. So what are some of the things that you think it should be done in the bedroom, so that the husband will understand, so that the wife will understand, so that they will work on it? What do you think must be done, in your own opinion?
The what can be done regards to this question is the environment should be created in such a way that, one, when you are having sex, it's not just you go straight to the sex. There should be a lot of activities
Okay.
that
Like what?
you do,
Like what?
romance, and it's like at times you can also dance seductively and all that. So there are a lot of things. So by the time you get to the actual sex, the satisfaction has already started.
Okay. Now I know a lot of religious people are ready to, eat you up. but don't worry, I'm going to come in when I have to come in a minute. But this is a subject that most religious people are going to use scriptures to bombard you from left and right. But the Lord will help us on this issue. Now, now he comes in again saying that there are okay. He comes and say, Mary, I understand your response, but from experience, the woman had not been raped before. So, if the woman has not been raped before, I think we've answered that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'll
So,
come. Okay, you come in. Come in. Yeah.
this issue is, I think, a very big issue when it comes to Christian marriages and all, even normal marriages all around. If you listen to radio stations, um, some women are struggling in their marriages because the men don't get satisfied easily. I remember I heard a woman who said the husband can have an affair with her for over 2 hours, continuous without getting tired. And I mean, anytime they have sex, they need to go and take on water to cure herself. And she wants to leave the marriage. So she was seeking for advice. I also heard men who are, I mean, the men are more than the women, complaining that, hey, Charlie, this woman is never satisfied. And I mean, it is serious on the women's side and the men's side because
Okay.
the women can be elastic, but men, they get to a certain point and they can't go again.
I think that's what Mike is saying here. Mike is saying that there are, the woman's strength and the man's strength are not the same.
Different.
And so Mary says something that I think will solve the problem a little bit about romancing your wife, and do that foreplay to certain level, and that the woman is there. You learn and then a lot of men cannot do that. A lot of men, as soon as the woman is naked, they've already arrived in their Canaan. This and as soon as the woman start touching them, they've already arrived in their Canaan. And so a lot of men too struggle in that area. But what I want to ask is, so which means, Mary, as you said,
Yeah.
I want, actually, before I said that, let me say something that I heard. There was a woman on a radio station, I think on a TV station, on a show, a certain show or something like that. Somebody sent it to me, and she was asked. She was divorcing the husband because the husband has a small penis, small penis, and the woman says divorcing the husband because the ex-boyfriend, has a bigger penis, and he want to go back to the ex-boyfriend, so he's divorcing because of that issue. And these people are Christians. And so, if your husband, if your wife is divorcing you on a small penis, what do you do, Mary? I'll come to you on that because this is important issue that we
Reverend,
have to talk
this
about.
question. I was about to ask you about this question. This
Oh,
very,
you are
very
coming. I think it's good I throw it back to you.
in the Christian sector, they say that you should not see the person's private part. Nothing. You should not do any intimacy to get married. But when we come to the physical side, everybody has something that you want. Some want it endowed, some want it medium, some want it a particular way. The way the woman should look, and it helps with the physical attraction.
Okay.
But Christianity, they say that we should not do any of this. So when you after marriage and you go the first night during the honeymoon, it's like there's so much surprises, and as if and in marriage too, it's like what you see is what you get, no return policy. So what can we do? It's like it's something that is bugging a lot of people, because a lot of people are not happy in their marriages because some want it endowed, and she will marry a man, and the private part is like the piggy finger. What does he do? Oh Oh yeah, so it has made a lot of women very miserable.
So are you throwing back the question at me?
Yes, I'm throwing back the question at you. You are the pastor. What do we do?
Okay, okay. I think if the woman love the man, the size doesn't matter. See, women are said that when they are in love, women are said that when they are in love, when you touch them, they will even get there. When they truly love you, when a woman truly love you, size doesn't matter. And the reason why I said that is because, the woman, is struggling with her love for you. Sometimes they want the pleasure in a certain way, and that's it. But if a woman really loves you, size does not matter. Now, the reason why it's important for you to understand this is because God created a woman different than man. And true love, when a woman have a true love for you, even when the woman sees you, she's at rest. When you go to bed with a woman, she won't have a problem with your size, and she will even help you and help herself to be satisfied. But when the woman, doesn't understand love, and she's not in for love, and she's just there as a woman, and she wants to be satisfied and all of that, then you are going to have a problem with that. So true love begins with, trust. It begins with trust, and also feelings is involved, and you have to connect with the person, and you also have to talk, and you also have to understand each other, because if you don't understand, your true love for each other, it's going to affect your love life. It's going to affect love life. It had nothing to do with anything. It's just going to affect your love life. And at the end of the day, you are going to struggle, in your sexuality. But you have to understand that when you truly love the man, size doesn't matter. I understand that a lot of women say, oh, size matters. Yes, it matters in a way that you want your feeling out of that thing. Everybody wants their feeling, but you also think about the person that you are with. And also, there's so many ways to solve that problem. There are so many ways to solve that problem. And so you have to work on your true love for each other. And I believe that will solve the problem with the size matter. This lady was asked, why are you divorcing your husband? Said, because his penis is too small. My ex-husband, and I want a big size. They asked, they said, I want a big size. He said, how big? He said, this big. I said, this woman have issue. See, with such kind of, she has an issue. She needs a mental check. She has an issue, because after sex, then what? There is more to marriage than sex. There is more to relationship than sex. And so sex is just some few hours. I know you need that because it's part of the relationship. But again, it's like if you are thinking that the man have to have a size like this, then you have to go and get a porn star, or you have to go and get somebody that has done some things to himself, because that is not enough for your relationship. There is more to your relationship than just having sex. Did I help here? Okay, Owusu.
Okay. So, man of God, I think we also need to speak about if we let's say we take supplements for maybe skin and all those things. There are times that doctors also can recommend certain should I say activities or even medicine for such a man to take to help increase his size. And it should be medical recommendation. It shouldn't be a discretional thing, or should I say something an assumption. Like medical attention, medical advice on that parameter. Sometimes it's abnormal. Maybe there's some kind of condition that is causing it. I think is this syphilis or gonorrhea can cause shrinkage in that sense. So if there's something like that, a medical attention can help the individual get to a normal size, or should I say, an okay size.
Okay.
And even some men is even because of their body size, obesity. And I
Okay.
think if that is treated, also can help. So that's the only thing I wanted to add as well.
Okay. I think I told you that we'll be in trouble because when religious people get into this thing, then they are going to bring their religious thing in it. So somebody said, "Man of God use man steak instead of pu on air." So they want us to use a certain word pu on air. This is where the problem is with Christianity, or this is where the problem with ignorant people that are not matured in the Lord, and people that take every word as offense. Maturity is important, and not only that, this is where a lot of people are not opening up in Christianity, and a lot of pastors, all they think about, oh, Jesus God, Jesus God, Jesus God, and that's how they see you as a wonderful pastor. But let me tell you these things, that in this life that we are in, we relate to each other in a truthful way. If I can't relate to you in a truthful way, then I'm faking. If all you think I know is Bible and God and Bible and God, then I'm faking it to you. Because most of the time, we pastors, sometimes we fake. Let me tell you this, a lot of pastors fake. On the pulpit, you see them preaching and using the right words spiritually, but actually they struggle with so many things in their lives that sometimes they hide it from the church members. Why? Because they don't want to lose the church, or they don't want to be judged, or they don't want to be condemned, or they don't want to be put down, and all of that. So at the end of the day, we have to fake to make people feel good so that religious people will not attack us. But at the end of the day, if you're not being attacked, then you're not doing the right thing. If you're not being scrutinized, then you are not, doing the right thing. So at the end of the day, we have to say it as it is and let people know that we are humans and we have feelings, and also we go through struggle, and also we want to talk about it to be free from it. Are you getting what I'm saying? You have to come to that place where you want to talk about your struggle without judgment, so that you be free from anything that you are struggling, especially in marriage. So, last thing, then I'll let you say your last point, then we are done. Um, Let me ask this question. Let's say you were a born again believer. You're a Christian. The reason I'm using Christian because there are a lot of Christians watching us, and I believe most of the church are connected with us and they are watching us. Let's say you were a Christian and you're a pastor and you are struggling with your sexuality, and you've been known as somebody that you don't want to share your sexuality even with your wife. The time you have to have sex, say you are praying. The time you have to have sex, you say you are having, you are fasting and all of that. So you are controlling your marriage with your spiritual life without letting your wife know what you are struggling with. So a lot of pastors are living behind the scene and lying in their marriages, using religion to cover their sexuality. And so, let's say if you encounter such kind of a problem, what are some of your opinion that you give to it? Because at the end of the day, if you're a pastor, you are a human being too. You are not a spirit. After you pray, you come down. You have feelings. That feeling have to work in your marriage. And a lot of pastors' wives are struggling because most pastors have issues with their sexual life. So talk to me about it. In your own opinion, Nana, I'll come to you on this issue. In your own opinion, what do you think that a minister or a minister of, in every area of your life, pastor, minister, whoever, in every area, how do you think that can be handled, as a minister, as far as your sexual life is concerned?
Thank you, Reverend. I think I keep saying that being in one accord is very important. Always, before a man of God should go into a time of solitude with God, there should be peace in the home. You can't be in agitation with your wife and think you are doing the right thing, because he said, if you are having a problem with someone, you are praying, go and solve it and come. and continue. So, as a husband, as a man of God, as a Christian, before you go into solitude, speaking in tongues, praying, waiting on God, make sure you are at peace with your wife. Now, somebody told me they are fasting 365 days, and I was like, what are you doing? And I, after the fasting, I said, I hope all your problems have been solved because the earth that we are in, they said in Genesis 2 and 3 that uh, multiply, replenish the earth. He said the first word was Pastor used it the other time. Um,
What scripture is that?
he said increase, multiply, and replenish the earth.
Okay, 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 okay. Uh-huh.
So if God has given us this mandate, it means that prayer has its time, and as Solomon said, there's time for everything. Prayer has its time. Fasting has its time. The time with your wife should also be there. And I was reading about Young Cho. He said when he was using all his time for ministry, God, the Holy Spirit told him to stop because there's another priority he's not attending to, and that's the wife. And he said the wife was in depression for a long time because, I mean, he's not available. He's going for evangelism here, he's going for a program there. And when the Holy Spirit prompted him, that is when he had a good home. So he actually had time that he spends with the wife. If you call him on Thursdays, you'll not get him because that day he's having fun with the wife. So I think every Christian man or woman, when they come into unity, must have days that they is for themselves, not for any other thing, just to settle issues, to laugh, to enjoy, to have fun, rejuvenate yourself again. Because spiritual things are spiritually discerned, physical things are physically discerned, and we don't have to mess the two. If you are missing the two, you are misplacing your priority,
Yeah.
and that causes a lot of problems in homes. So if you have a time with God, even God doesn't like that to have time with Him and doing other things. So have time for with God. When you are done, have time with your wife. But I also see the Christian women when their husbands are having these times, you also help them. Your dressing should call them back that, hey, when you are done, I'm also here. Because when your husband is in that state and all you do is wearing working gear, or how do we call it, overall, sometimes they don't see what they are missing. But when you start presenting maybe the things they saw when they were after you, or you know the things they like already, it draws their attention also when they are done. Maybe they are done praying, they fasted for 7 days, 2 days afterwards. I mean, they will come back to order. So I think the way we can solve this in our homes is number one, with your wife, and make sure that you don't misplace your priorities. Your time with God should be time with God, and the time with your wife should be the time with your wife. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. That's wonderful. Mary, what about you?
When it comes to pastors, I believe that apart from the spiritual aspect, you should be also open to physical aspects with regards to intimacy. Because if the woman wants to just make certain things fun, and she opens herself to bring some creativity, and you might think that he's the your wife is demonized. How can
Yeah,
she
being
open
carnal.
herself?
It's being carnal.
Yes, yes, you are being carnal. You are being carnal. Sex is physical, and a lot of play makes it so fun. So I believe that pastors should also be vulnerable when it comes to the bedroom activity. It will help the wife come. It's like open up things that she knows. A lot of pastors' wife have done a lot of stuff before, but if they bring it to the marriage setting, it's can be fun because a lot of men who go to the slay queens, they want some the extras, that the wives are not providing. And I believe that if whatever you married couple do, if it does not go against the word of God, I think you should be open to it. And
Wonderful.
that was the problem.
I like that. I like that. The reason why I open up with the pastor's issue is because sometimes pastors also have to hear from the church members, perspective. And I believe everybody have to humble themselves and listen, to each other and also grow. Most of the time we pastors, we think that only us have to advise, only us have to preach. Sometimes we also have to listen from the church members and hear what God is saying, because God speaks through the church members too. And sometimes we have to humble ourselves and hear what God is saying. And so now I want to finish it in conclusion, and then we bring this to a close. If you have any question too, you can ask if you have any question. Now, sexuality and production, fundamental part of being human being alive. All living creature have some productive urges because God decreed sexuality to be the way most of creation will perpetuate to the various species. Now, for animals, sexual urges are merely physical drives like hunger and thirst. Now, but for human beings, sexuality also involves emotional bonding and spirituality, self control, and physical intimacy. Our sexuality is an integral part of who we are, but it does not define us. Our sexuality is integral part of who we are, but it doesn't, or it shouldn't, define us. We are more than our sexuality. We are more than our sexuality. That's why when I was using that woman as an example, that she was asked when she was divorcing the husband because of the husband have a small p, and at the end of the day she concluded that she want to divorce her and go back to her ex-husband. She has concluded everything in her life, everything in her marriage to be that. But when you see more than who you are, more than what you came in for, that it's about building relationship, it's about building one another, it's about building family. Now you see more than what is happening, and at the end of the day, you won't see it the way you are seeing it, but you see it in a different way, and you find a way to solve the problem. And God expects us to master our sexuality, not to allow it to master us. Let me put it again. Let me say it again. God is expecting us to master our sexuality, but not for our sexuality to master us. In other words, you have to learn how to control your sexuality. That is where sexual addiction comes in. You have to learn how to control, put it under subjection. Being designed by God, sexual desires are not inherently sinful. It's not inherently sinful. They are good, but they are to be controlled and brought under subjection to God's moral law. Sexual desire have to be brought under God's moral law. When you bring it under God's moral law, now you know how to, live with it, and it doesn't control you, because now you know how to control. You always have to do things in moderation, but you have to bring it under God's moral law, so that at the end of the day, you will not live haphazardly thinking that is all your life. There are people that all they think about is that. Sex. How am I going to do this to my wife? How am I going to do this to my husband? How am I going to do this? Don't let that consume you, and don't let that be the everything that you live for in your marriage. Think more, than that. When it comes in, good. But at the end of the day, live bigger than that. Live beyond than that, and bring your sexual life under God's moral, law, so that you'll be able to live it and enjoy it, and be a, so that you allow that to be a blessing to you. Let's read the book of First Corinthians chapter 7, verse number 8. Then we'll bring this to a close. But if you have a question, you can also ask before we finish this. First Corinthians chapter number 7. Let's read it quick and then we'll finish it on that. First Corinthians, let me bring it on the screen. Chapter number 7. Let's start from verse number 8. First Corinthians chapter number 7, verse number 8. It says, "But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am." Verse number 9. "But if they cannot exercise self-control," see, that's self-control here, "let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion." You see what Paul is saying here? It said it is better not to marry, but if they cannot exercise self-control, then let them marry. The reason why we marry, it helps us to bring ourselves under God's moral law, so that we'll be able to control our feelings, so that it won't get out of hand. So that you see, most unbelievers are out of hand when it comes to their sexuality. They will do anything. That's why people penetrate their, exit instead of doing it in a proper way. And so at the end of the day, they do it anyhow, anyway. They don't care how they do it. But we bring our sexual life under God's moral law, so that we'll do with pleasure, with respect, with love, with dignity, so that it won't hinder our thinking, our mind. When the thing become, our mind judges us on what is happening. Now we are not able to do it with pleasure, do it with, integrity, and also we condemn ourselves with what is happening. I can tell you so many stories when it comes to, how people do sex in a wrong way, and how, people come to me and they tell me, all the sexual struggle that they have. And so at the end of the day, these are some of the problems. Let me tell you one of them, then I'm done. There is one Christian brother that we had in our church, and the wife was complaining. This is a long time ago, that's why I'm saying it. And the wife was complaining that the husband is not, licking her backside. Let me use that word. The husband was not licking her backside. And the wife is from here, is from America, and the husband is from Ghana. And so, the wife is about to divorce the husband because of that. And so here we are, they came to me, and I was listening to the story. As I was confused in the middle of it, I said, how? You see, in my culture, we don't do that. But the woman, it's a different culture. The man is from different culture. And so they are at the edge of divorce because of that. You see, everything in that marriage has been reduced to that. So I have to, teach them, and bring them under God's moral law. What to do, what not to do, what is accepted, what is not accepted. Even when it comes to signs and your body and all of that, the places you have to pay attention, the places you don't have to get involved. But it took the woman a long time to get involved or to understand, and this almost broke up their marriage. But I'm saying this to let you understand that we as believers have to bring our sexual life under God's moral law, so that we'll be able to live happily with each other. Amen. If you have any question, you can. I think I said you people should ask a question. So if you have any question, you can ask it before we we can go. Amen.
Reverend,
Uh-huh.
there was this lady who was asking that a question that if God wants us to be celibate till we get married, why is it that he allows us to have that sexual urges? It's like it's a torture. Why doesn't he make it in such a way that you have that sexual urges after you've married? because it's a torture to single to singles.
Okay. So that's the question. Okay. See, God put all the body part and put all the feelings in your body when you were born. When you were little, you have all those body parts, you have all the feelings, you have everything. You have your womb, even though you are not, having a baby at a little age, but you still have a womb to give birth. God gave a woman that womb to give birth is there. God didn't wait till you grow before he put womb in your stomach, but he put it there. Even in the seed, he put it there. You grow with it. There are stages we activate things in our body. There are stages that we activate things with it, and it comes with it. And so as you are growing, learning about things, it doesn't mean you have to activate it. You have to get to that stage. As the Bible said, there is time for everything. And so if you haven't got to that stage and you activate it, it comes with a lot of problems. Am I making sense? If you if you're a child and you activate sex in your life, now you get pregnancy, now you stop going to school, now it's going to affect your finances, it's going to affect your life, it's going to affect so many things. That's number one. Number two, you have feelings doesn't mean you have to activate it. There is, your age will come where you activate those things. Let me give you a good example. I know I'm not going to mention because I know my children are watching, but I want to use one of them as an example, but I can't use it and I won't mention no name. But one of them was getting out of the house, so he was running out of the house and a condom fell from his pocket. And, he was at that age, but I teach my children not to do it till they get married. Now, I have cameras in my house. Okay, we have the man of God here applying some, so we're going to bring it on the screen. Now, there's a camera in my house, and so one of my sons caught it on camera and then told me about it. And so I asked him, he's going to deny it. He denied it with his life. That came from my friend, that came from this, that came from that. But at the end of the day, we're able to solve the problem. And I'll sit him down and I talk to him. Sex is good, but it brings certain consequences when you are young and you get involved in it. These are some of the things that you're going to struggle with. It's going to affect your education. It's going to affect this. It's going to affect that. And it's going to do that. Because I'm not that pastor that tell people if you do this, you go to hell. If you do this, God is going to punish you. And I don't teach the person why he shouldn't do that. I don't give him the solution, but I give him the condemnation and all of that. That is why people don't change and people don't open up to us, because they are afraid that when you know something about them as a pastor, you're going to send them to hell. Right away, you're going to quote some scriptures to scare them, to send them to hell. But when I saw that, I know that maybe either she's thinking about it, or he has done it, or maybe something is going on with him on that. So, I have to sit him down and teach him step by step, why you don't do it at this stage. At this stage of your life, that you are in your 20 and you are building your education, building your life, building to it's going to stop so many things in your life, and it's going to affect so many things. And now you are going to be now children are going to come in. Now you have to stop school, you have to work to take care of your children. Now you force yourself to become something that the time was not ripe to do it. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
There is a stage you build your life. There's a stage you connect into adulthood. And in that adulthood, you begin to work, you begin to put whatever you learn from school, you work and all of that. And then there's a stage you get into relationship, and now you start building responsibility and building your life. So the question that you ask, why is it that we don't have sex before marriage? The reason why Christians, we don't do that, because we bring our sexual life under God's moral law, so that you will connect to the person that you are relating to, that you want to marry, on that level, and then you hold on to that sex before you marry. Then you, because let's say if you are having sex and you are not married and the person doesn't marry you, now you jump to another person, have sex, the person doesn't marry you, jump to another person, have sex, the person doesn't marry. Then what are you doing to yourself? At the end of the day, you're going to get hurt. When sex come in, you get hurt. When sex come in, you feel cheating. When sex come in, there are so many things that get involved. If the woman doesn't, the man will. If the man doesn't, that's where people start killing one another. You did this to me, you disappointed me, you did this, now I want to kill you, now I hate you, now I do this. When sex come in, it opened the door to so many things. The Bible says they will come together and they will not be ashamed. In other words, when two join together, they will not be ashamed. But if they're not joined together, that is where the threat and all those things comes in. Did I answer that question?
Yes.
Now let me read. Nana, before you say this, let me read what Pastor Albert Coulson is saying here. He said, "I also believe that." Okay, this is what he's saying. He said, "I also believe that man is a tripartite being." And he is a spirit, he has a soul, and dwells in a body. So, just as we perform our spiritual responsibility as Christians, in the same way we have the responsibility to perform our bodily duties as physical being. Man of God, God bless you. I believe this is good, and wherever you are, I think this is a good advice. Man of God, God bless you for connecting. God bless you for connecting. I know you will come on it before you go to Ghana. God bless you. Human. And then Michael also says sex is a humanly covenant. Humanly covenant. I like that. Sex is humanly covenant. God bless you on that. Okay, Nana, you have another question. I think you've been asking 33 questions, so you've asked 2, so you have 2 to go. So Nana, you have 3 to go.
I just want to add up to what my sister said. Number one, I don't want us to blame God for certain things that we do. If we are not taking responsibility of our actions, then it means that we are not recognizing that there's a judgment day. And this is the reason why I'm saying that. Satan actually is not like the gods. Okay? The only time I saw that Satan did something before he tempted Jesus in the Bible was when he attacked David. And his attack on David was in the mind. He enticed him to count the people of Israel. And that was against the instruction of God. So God's wrath came upon the people. And that's the only time I saw that Satan actually came in to attack somebody. What am I trying to say? We are humans. He enticed us or fight us in our mind. And that is why he said, be not conformed to the things of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you have a responsibility as a Christian to renew your mind. So the desires will come. We all go through that. And that's one thing I like about Reverend. Keep mentioning that we all have desires. We all have desires. But we can't be like what the others are doing. Who are you? Are you a child of God? You can't be sleeping around. You need to discipline yourself. We've not even come to the spiritual aspect. Because if we should bring a spiritualist to break down what goes on in sex, that one we can't even have it at all. Because the connection, the spiritual bondage and all that will scare people. Talking about the things people can pick from you when they have an affair with you and do with you, that is aside. I think we need to have a time and talk about those spiritual.
Yeah, we'll talk. I think we'll continue that on Saturday coming. We'll continue next week Saturday. We'll continue this subject next week. Okay.
Responsible for our actions. That we it's not God putting that in our mind for us to sin. Those things will come because even of what we watch. Now pornography is all over. Instagram, people are naked, there's so many things that can entice you. So you need to be careful what you watch. You need to be careful the things you do and need to control yourself so that you don't fall into those things. Yeah, thank you.
Amen. So your question,
Okay.
you you,
So
you won't escape on this.
my question is simple. My question is simple. Um, what should a woman do to keep the husband in romance after childbirth?
After childbirth. Good. So, which means, what is the period? Like 3 months, 4 months, 1 day after giving birth?
Yeah, women change immediately they give birth,
Okay.
and some go off. It's like a
Their
light off
hormones.
for, yes, a light off for sexual activities, especially those that are, should I say, in a Christian setting. Some people don't want to go through those acts again. They just um, go off. So and they also need the attention of their men, and they think the men don't even want to mind them again because now she doesn't dress well. She's all about the kids and has forgotten about even the one he's going to spend the rest of her life with. So what should be the lifestyle of a woman who gives birth? After birth, how should they position themselves to keep the romance going?
Mary says something, said talking. Talking is very, very important in relationship. And also, most women, after giving birth, they become attached to their children than their husband. Because most of them make it such a way that, now they are married to the children, the man stands somewhere. The children come first, and most of the time, even when they are sleeping, they bring the children in the middle of them. The children come and sleep in the middle of them. Now, if you're a woman, you are listening to me and you are doing that, you are killing your marriage. You are killing your marriage. The man might not tell you now, but you are building a strange gap between both of you. And at the end of the day, it will come to a place where the children grow and go to their various, homes and get married. Now they are left, both of you, in your house, and now you are trying to build yourself back again. It will be hard because you've allowed the children to come in the middle, and you are not able to build the gap and connect to each other and build your marriage. So it has really, it is causing problem in your relationship. It will cause problems in your relationship. So the first thing a woman should do when they give birth, and your hormones start changing, talk to your husband about it, and also go through counseling, because it's a mind thing. It's a mind thing. Hormones is connected to the mind, and it's a mind thing. And so even if you don't feel to have sex, you can touch yourself, you can talk to yourself, you can hug yourself, you can connect bodily, and open up for your husband to help you too. Open up for your husband to help you too. Don't shun him away. Don't neglect your husband. Bring him with yourself and build your life with him, as you are going through the changes of hormones. And so I believe that the woman have a lot to do. You have to let your husband know, this is what I feel, this is what I don't feel, this is how things are going on with my body, and this is that. And maybe the husband will work with you, and also the husband also have to be patient with the wife and work with the wife and talk to the wife. And if you have to touch the wife and help the wife in the kitchen and help the wife in different places. By doing that, women deal with feelings. Women deal with what they hear. When you tell them sweet things over and over and over, they fall for you. And so you have to also increase your romance level and increase the way you talk to the woman, appreciate the woman more, because she feel, when the women give birth, their bodies now start falling apart. And so they feel like, I have to cover my body. Even I've seen so many women here and there that after giving birth, they don't want their husband to see their nakedness. And so they wait till they go to the room and turn the light off. Then they do whatever they want to do. In the morning, they cover their nakedness quick. And it happened a lot. So it's a mental thing. And if you're a man, don't be harsh on your wife. Don't start judging your wife and condemn your wife and use scriptures to condemn her, because she's a human. Hormones, things are changing in her body. Her body was not like that. She's feeling some changes. And so work with her. It's important to talk to her, and the wives too. Talk to your husband and work it together and see things moving. It's beautiful. Things will move in a way that it will surprise you. It will be beautiful. Did I answer that question?
Yes, totally.
Yes, Reverend.
Uh-huh.
That that was the question that I was about to ask. It's like, why is it that especially African men, they don't like to compliment their wives? If the wives complain about it, they will say that, oh, you watch too many telenovelas and all that. Because
What is
as you
telenovelas?
rightly said, the soap operas and all that.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh,
It's like
oh, oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like, and also their way of compliment means that they are doing their responsibility. But one thing I've realized that the affirmation goes a long way with as when it concerns women. But I've realized that African men don't take it seriously. And we women take it very seriously. I remember somebody cheated on the husband because of compliments. He provides everything, but he cheated on the husband with the best friend because
She cheated.
sorry, she cheated.
She okay,
She cheated on the husband because of compliment.
okay,
It might looks like it's just something small, but it's a huge thing with regards to women. So I think African men should work on it seriously.
okay. I think you are right. You are right, because our culture is what we didn't have conversation with our fathers when we were growing up, and the church didn't talk about it that much, and also the people around us, where we came from as Africans, we don't talk much about it. When you travel to the Western world, things are different. Most African pastors and most African people don't open up to education. We're closing in education as far as educating our sexual life and also our lives, and we're closing to it. All we do is God, church, God, church, God, church, God, church. That is good. But when you open up to different opinion and also education as far as your sexual life is concerned, it helps a lot. It helps a lot. Romance and all of that, because most African men feel like they are in control. So they don't want to be weak. So when they tell you, hey, I love you and all of that and romance and all, they might think that you see them as a weak man. So they come in a way that, hey, I'm the husband. Hey, do this and do that and do that and come here. Let me do this with you. That's it. So a lot of people think that by humbling themselves to, do that, it means they are weak. But, and many, many years ago in Africa, sex is seen as, the husband want to release himself and then, jump on the woman, release himself and go to farm. And so the wife is not getting any enjoyment. It's more to do with the man's enjoyment. This was going on many years ago in Africa. And so that kind of thinking is there. A lot of homes and a lot of men are trained to be bold and to be this and to be that. So most of them are not able to, be romantic, because they think if you are romantic, you are weak. If you're romantic, they feel shy and all of that, because we're not brought up like that. Sometimes you have to open up and listen to your wives, Because your wife sometimes are most of the time are romantic and they want to tell you things, but a lot of men block their ears not to hear. And so those are some of the problems that I think sometimes we have as African men. But I believe that to solve that problem, as African men, we have to submit and humble and open up to our wives and listen to our wives and also connect to their feelings and also work with them stage by stage, because they change, they get into. You see, women are the one that actually, bring the man to certain mood and certain things, sexuality and all of that. But a lot of men, if they are not submitting to learn from them and work with them and all of that, if you don't take care, you will judge your wife and think your wife is, sexual, all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, that's not what it is. The body is changing. You have to change with it. You have to also compliment the wife and all of that. That is where you build strong sexual relationship. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Nana?
Yes, it does. It did. Sorry.
Okay. You have a... Okay, let's do last question, then we are done. We have last questions to ask, then we are done.
Mary, please go first.
So, what can we do as Christians to make our marriage better and fun? Because it's like the way at which Christian marriages are breaking is very alarming. And I believe that if we find solution, it's might to it. It can minimize it drastically. So, what can we do?
Okay. I believe the first thing we have to do as Christians, when we get married, first we have to understand that we are humans before we became Christians. You are not born spiritual. You are not born Christian. Christian is a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's, becoming like Christ morally. But actually, you also have to know you are human. And even if you're a pastor, know you are human. When most pastors will say you have to pray for 13 hours, 20 hours, fast for 40 days. So they make their lifestyle like scary. Like, hey, I cannot marry this person because it's too spiritual. And a lot of pastors, even while they are married, they still bring fear. They make their wife, their spouse, fear them because they think that it's all about spiritual. So let me bring it this way. As an African man and also as a pastor and also as a businessman, I understand one thing. I'm a human first before I became a Christian and before I became a pastor. And so I know my levels. And at the end of the day, being human, I have to feel for other humans. And also, I have to understand that, you have to open up. You don't have to close it. You have to open up. There are so many things that a lot of men want to do, but they don't want to do it because of that cultural barriers. But sometimes you have to learn to come out of your culture and learn from different culture and balance them. Balance them. You're always holding Bible reading in your house, and your wife is always reading Bible all the time. Trust me, at the end of the day, she can't conversate with you the way she want to. Sometimes put the Bible aside and just talk. And just hold your wife, touch your husband, hold your hands, walk together, run together, exercise together, do things together. It changes so many things. And it helps the relationship to grow. You have to invest into your relationship. You have to invest into it. Invest. When I say invest, you have to grow your relationship together. In every angle, you have to talk, spiritual, physical, every aspect of your life, you have to do that so that the relationship will grow to the glory of the Lord. Now, I want to answer something here, then we are done. I think Owusu Ansa have some question, or is suggesting something. So I want to answer this, going back and forth with Michael Owusu-Ansah. So let me answer that question quick. I think Owusu-Ansah was asking something, that was saying something that man of God use man stick instead of pu on air. Okay, so I don't know what word to use. I don't even have the word pu in my mind to even use it at the first place. I didn't even think about using pu anyway. Okay, the short abbreviation for it. Okay, but I'm having conversation with people that I know there are a lot of children that are watching it, and as I said from the beginning, we African people, we are careful the words we use, and we are cultural people, and I understand that. I really understand that. When you come to my counseling, some of the things that I say it for you to understand it, so that you won't misunderstand me. And you know, when you use the word P, a lot of people in the, from Africa that are not educated, they don't even know the abbreviation of that. They don't even know what you are talking about. P, what is P? What is he talking about? We don't fake here. If it is penis, I would say it's penis. And saying penis, you haven't said any negative or bad thing. You see, when you are too religious, any little thing people say, you will take it personal. But when I teach my children, I mention penis to them. That is their penis. They have to know the word, what it is. And so I don't tell my children P. I don't use that word. They'll go out there, they'll say, oh, this is P. No. Even on social media, the whole world watching me, they have to know what I'm talking about. And not everybody know P. P means P. But a lot of people don't know the abbreviation of penis or whatever it is. And I want people to hear me clear, because when you look at a topic, what we are treating, we are talking about sex. And so me mentioning, me being a pastor, I'm a human being first, and also I'm a marriage counselor, and I don't just talk about spiritual things, I also talk about physical things. So Mr. Owusu-Ansah, don't take this personal. It's something that I'm trying to let even my children, I talk to them about penis. I let them know, and they've learned so many things by me using those words, so that they will know what I'm talking about. And so don't take this too spiritual, and don't take it too personal, because it is helping so many people. And also I know it's a public space, but we've come to a place in this world that social media don't know what is public space, and being a pastor doesn't stop you from mentioning sex and also penis, and that is nothing wrong with it. And we preach about it, we mention it, we talk about it. It had nothing to do with spiritual or not spiritual, but when we take it personal, we misinterpret things. And so God bless you on that. We love you, and let's work on that. God bless you. Now, are we good on this? You people did wonderful. You people did what I didn't want to bring pastors on this thing and talk about this and to be more spiritual. So I want to bring wonderful people like you to talk about it and open up and talk about it. Sometimes I'll bring leaders on and pastors and bring businessmen and all of that. But sometimes I also want to talk to, ordinary church members and people, workers in the church, and everybody in the church, and everybody. Even I'll bring people that don't even do nothing in the church. I mean, people that just listen to me on social media. I'll bring you on it, and then we'll have one-on-one conversation. I believe in that. And so let's get into this, and believe God to be a blessing. Next week we'll come on it to be the part 2. This is the part 1. So we'll come on it next week Saturday, and it will be gracious. It will be gracious. Then we're going to get deep. And so, there are things we're going to say that's going to baffle you. Penis is nothing. I'm going to say something that will baffle your mind. And so come on it. We are going to take it to another level. Now, the reason why this is important to me is because we Christians, we are struggling, we are suffering in our marriages, but we hide behind the scene to live a pretend life. You want it. You are struggling, but you don't want to open up for your problems to be solved. And so we are going to talk more. We are going to get into another level on this subject, and we are going to talk about the sex issue. So we are not done. We'll come back and talk about the part 2 Saturday, God willing. Come come here with me 1 hour and let believe God. I think we went a little bit above 1 hour. So, but next week we'll make sure we'll stay 1 hour. We'll stay 1 hour. I'll make sure on that. God richly bless you. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank God for your life. God bless you, Mary. God bless you, Nana. God bless you. God bless you, Edward. God bless you for the wonderful wisdom and all the beautiful things you've said. We love you. We'll come back and continue this, and it will be gracious. God bless you. We love you. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening, afternoon, your time. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
You have a wonderful weekend too. Bye.
Bye.